Good morning. It's time for Two Guys on Sports. I'm Larry Hazer.
I'm Dick Olson. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Dick. And a lot of high school wrestling to talk about as the sectionals coming up this weekend.
Yeah, team sectionals were Tuesday night, and so we now know we don't know who's wrestling who at Team State, but we do know who is going to be the 8 teams in D1 and the 4 teams in D2 and the 4 teams in D3. So,
any surprises that you saw coming out of those?
Not really, Larry. When I look in D2, St. Croix Falls over St. Croix Central, I think you could have wrote that one down for. Coleman moved up to D2 in the competitive balance. They defeated Freedom, very close match there, 33-31. Well, that would have been iffy because Freedom has an excellent team. Fenimore also moved up to D2 this year, defeating Belmont Platteville, and then Kewaskum defeating Campbellsport in the final. So
very close on all those finals in Division II.
That Coleman Freedom match was very tight, and you get down. Freedom has twin brothers wrestling 215 at heavyweight, and they're both very, very good. And Coleman is always just a strong wrestling program
yes,
up there. So, and then in D3, there were 3 schools. If I had wrote down, of course, Stratford. They defeated Turtle Lake in the finals, and then, as I thought, Glenwood City would beat Cumberland. And Stratford did come back and beat Glenwood City in the finals, 41-29. But the other participant, Waiawega Fremont, has been right up there all year, ranked in the top 3 teams. Mineral Point, always tough. The team that surprised me, Oostburg.
I noticed that too. They're not really known for wrestling.
Yeah, so they are on their way. So very tough D3 field. And I know Stratford and Waiawega Fremont have been at a tournament or 2 this year. Mineral Point defeated Stratford at the Wausau West tournament, this East tournament. And going to be interesting how that seeding turns out. You almost look at Stratford probably going to be a 3 seed in the field. And so they're either going to have to wrestle Mineral Point or Waiawega Fremont off the bat. So in D1, Larry, a lot of the common names up there. Holman defeated Menominee in their sectional. Bayport, Reedsburg, Nielsville native Rob Bouch, head coach.
Okay. 2nd
consecutive trip to Team State for them. So
good for them.
Arrowhead, who's been down there many times. West Alice Hale, Waukesha West, Muskego. But Kaukauna defeating Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln 49-18 in the sectional finals. Kaukauna is a powerhouse this year.
So no surprise at the score there.
I thought it would be a little closer.
Okay.
I thought there were matches that Rapids would handle Kaukauna, but not too many. And like I told you the other night, Kaukana's got 14 kids going to sectionals. And for those you don't know, there's only 14 weight classes. So
out of those 14, how many do you think are going to go to state?
Yeah, I haven't looked, but I went 7 or 8 probably. 6, 7, 8. They are just a strong team and have been for the last few years.
Right.
So it just doesn't run in wrestling either. It's all sports.
It is.
Their girls softball had like an 80-game winning streak, and it's just there's something in the water in Kaukauna, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So all right, so that's state team wrestling. We go to the individuals. The girls will have their sectionals on Saturday.
Yep.
And we got some area individuals.
Yeah.
Most of them are at Eau Claire North from our area.
Some are, but like the cadet wrestlers are going elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
I forget where. I thought it was someplace a little farther north, maybe. But yeah, I thought because
they are at Ladysmith.
Yes, okay. Because I thought you might have a Bryn Heck Izzy Sonatag matchup because I believe they're both wrestling 114.
Yep.
But hopefully they won't see each other till state now. So, but anyway, Bryn Heck of NGL, 24-8 as a freshman, is heading to Eau Claire North Friday. Her first match will be Izzy Davenport, a 25-8 senior from River Falls. So, and these are 8-person brackets, just like the boys have. And 3 girls will go to state from their bracket. So
now if you're like Bryn finished first at regionals, is she a number 1 seed then?
She is the number 2 seed going in.
So she is a higher seed.
She is the higher seed. Yeah, she as a 2 seed, she is wrestling the 7 seed.
Okay.
I forgot to look who was the number 1 seed, but Britt is the number 2 seed. So.
All right. Some other area wrestlers. Got Ava Gardner of Marshfield at 107.
Yeah.
She was a regional champ.
Yeah. Erica
Sleznikow of 126.
Yeah.
She's still undefeated, I think.
Yes, she is. Yes, I checked that too.
Yes.
So.
Riley Hanrahan of Black River Falls.
And Riley's been to state before too. So.
Okay. So at 138, along with Jasmine Hebert of Auburndale.
Yep.
Also in that same weight class.
Yeah. It's really interesting, Larry, how many schools now you're hearing what girls send. A few years ago, we knew Cadet and some of the Division I schools, but now it's getting to be all the D3 schools and the D2. Everybody seems to have some girl representation, which is kind of neat.
I wouldn't be surprised if just a few years down the road they don't split them up in divisions.
Absolutely.
Maybe 1 or 2 divisions.
Yeah, I would think you'd probably. I don't think the way it's growing, if it keeps growing at the present rate, I think in a couple of years you'll see D1 and D2 for sure. So,
right.
So how that'll be handled at state, I don't know, because now they got 4 mats on the Cole Center floor, and I don't think there's room for a 5th one. For the way they line up for state championship.
Right.
But well, that's down the road. So
all right. Azariah Hoffman of Spencer Columbus Granted.
She's done well this year too. So
Caitlin Nosebish of Black River Falls. Both those girls at 145.
Black River's had very good success with the girls down there. More success than they've had with their boys lately. So
okay. And then Anna Becker, also of Spencer Columbus Granted at 235, going to
they're doing
sectionals.
nice job up at Spencer. Both girls and boys. Their boys program really rebounding nicely. They've got, I believe, 3 kids going to sectionals this year, and it's been a while since they've had that many kids go to sectionals. Then they had the brothers, the Ackman brothers, went every year, but since they were there, they haven't had really trouble getting anybody going to sectionals. So.
All right, so then we go to the boys. Will have their sectionals on Saturday.
Yeah.
Girls, how many? What is it? The top
3.
Top 3 go to state for the boys.
Top 3.
Top 3.
Yep.
Okay, from each weight class
Yep.
go on to state. Neilsville Greenwood Loyal with 5 individuals.
I should say D1, I believe, is top 2.
Okay.
D1 is top 2.
Okay.
Because they have 8 sectionals. So.
All right. Okay.
So they'll have a 16-man bracket, and whereas the D2 and D3 will have 12-man brackets. So.
Okay. All right. So NGL with the 5 wrestlers
Yep.
heading on to sectionals.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. And of course they are at Wisconsin Dells Saturday. Black River Falls and Nakusa Assumption are also at that particular sectional. Ridge Tibbet at 120. Ridge 26-14 as a junior. Was out quite a bit with an injured hand this year, but he will have Cade Birchman, 33-9 junior from Fenimore in his first match. Chase Littner at 126, 32-20 as a sophomore. He will have Blake Endries from Belleville, who is a 45-2 senior. So that's where your 1-4 comes in right there.
Right.
Hudson Sebesta Opel 144. Hudson 45-2 in his senior year. He will wrestle Mason Schulte from River Valley, who is 33-13 as a junior. Jake Luchterhan, 42-9 as a junior. He will have Joe Ruffnecht, and Joe is, I'm not sure, I forgot to write down where Joe is from, but anyway, Joe is 36-13, and he was a senior. And then Jackson Meyer, 39-10 as a sophomore. He has Tanner Zastafil from Evansville, who's a 33-19 junior. So hopefully, I don't know, 2-3 guys maybe. You got 3 guys going in as champions. Hopefully,
Right.
you can get through those first couple of matches, and you're guaranteed a spot going down. So, but I think the match everybody is looking forward to will be the final at 144 between Hudson Sebesta Opelt and then Hakon Peterson from Dodgeville. And they are ranked 1 and 2 in the state. Hakon, 2-time state champion. He really bumped up in weight. He was 106 his first 2 years. He's up to 144 this year.
But I understand he's a light 144.
Yeah, he's probably could have wrestled 38, I guess, from what I've told. But we'll see. He and Hudson, I think, are very comparable, and we'll see.
And have never faced each other.
Never faced each other, because when Hudson was a freshman, he was already wrestling 132.
Right.
And Hudson is tall, lanky, and I think Hakon is quite a bit the same. And so, but if anybody got a chance to give Hakon Peterson his first loss, it could be Hudson Sebesta Opelt. So.
And even if he loses, he still can go to state.
And he will go around the state regardless. If he finishes second, he will go into state as a second-seeded wrestler.
Right.
These 2 are heads and shoulders above anybody else in the state in Division II at 144.
Okay. And again, this regional or sectional that Neillsville Greenwood Loyal is going to be going to is It's tough.
Tough,
I mean,
yeah.
the other side of that sectional.
Fenimore, Evansville, Dodgeville. I mean, these teams have state champions like crazy every year, So, but just interesting how the geography changes here and push Nilsville farther south. Normally, they were the southernmost team in that in that Amory sectional.
Yep.
I guess is most time we go to Amory, but so something changed up there. Somebody had go up to D2 and Nilsville got bumped down one. So
Yeah, I mean, it's been Amory sectional for years.
Amory, Osceola, Nilsville's handled the sectional. Osseo, I believe, is that, but yeah, for the most part, it's been Amory and Osceola.
Yeah.
A lot of trips up to those schools.
Yes.
So.
All right, some other Division II wrestlers that'll be going on Saturday.
And these guys will be going to Amory.
Okay.
Abby Colby. I didn't write them down.
Tristan Smazel,
Yep.
126. Alex Colby at 132. And Max Jekyll
Jake at 138.
at 138. And then Jacob Hoppy at 175.
Spencer Columbus has Granton. Spencer Columbus has Teddy Meyer going, I believe, at 165.
Yep.
And then their 190 pounder, I forget.
Jacob Sobak.
And then Wyatt Carl, the young man from Granton, 215 pounder, going in up there as a champion, and he pinned his way through the regional.
He's wrestling really well
wrestling
now.
really well. I told his guidance counselor at Granton earlier in the season he had a chance to go to state. He's making me look good. So, because the kid is, you remember how the kid played football there.
Right.
He was just a
beast.
He was a beast, and now he's really putting it out on the wrestling mat. So.
All right, and then of course the tough Edgar Regional, where Stratford was the champ out of that, and of course they went to that sectional.
And that turns into the tough Ladysmith sectional.
Yes,
and
where a lot of good wrestlers are going to be.
Yeah, it's good. You come out of that one, Larry, you're going to be pretty good. Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And there's going to be, we talk about all the weight classes, and there is a lot of representation from our area.
Yeah,
in every weight class.
Stratford's got 10 guys going.
Yeah,
and Auburndale and Marathon probably have 6 or 7 going each. I said between those 3 schools, and then throw in Glenwood City and Boyceville too. So, and Stanley Boyd's got 2 or 3 kids going. So it's it's going to be tough. And
it's almost like the state championship there.
Yeah, I said, and I'm not disowning the other side of the sectional. Because Cumberland has very good wrestling. Braden Johnson, one of the better lightweights in the state, but. I think I expect that Edgar Regional to dominate it, that Ladysmith sectional. I really do. So
there's 3 Pittsville wrestlers are going to be at sectionals as well. Ryan Schooley at 144, Jackson Dewar at 190, and Caden Belselich at 285.
Yeah. So, and I forget where they're going way south.
Yeah, I'll have to check here and see where they're heading off to. Was that D3?
Yes.
D3 Pittsville is going to be going to the Westby section.
Yes,
Westby section.
Not bad.
Not too bad. No.
I talked about Dodgeville and Evansville and Fenimore, but I also left out Prairie du Chien out of there, Larry. And Prairie du Chien brings in Blake Theory at 215 and a few other good wrestlers too, and another sound program that's going to be at that sectional. So it's. So
some good wrestling coming up.
Yeah,
this
and
weekend.
We'll have lots of results next week, and hopefully lots to talk about for state tournament. So
yes, indeed. So. And before I forget, next week as well, we're going to have Dana Schultz as our guest.
Yes.
Next week, she's going to be talking about her trip to Italy coming up in March for the Special Olympics World Winter Games.
Yeah, and she will be commentating for ESPN again as she did in the past. And
I don't think she's going to be competing.
No, I don't think so either.
Think so,
but she does. She gets a lot of camera time.
Oh yeah, yeah. She does well.
Yes, she does
well. Represents well.
Yes, she does. So.
All right, we got boys and girls hockey regionals. Marshfield, Marshfield and Rapids in Division I boys the other night didn't do so well.
No.
Both got shut out.
Yep.
But they continue tonight with Division II.
Yep.
And Black River Falls Co-op is at Baldwin Woodville tonight.
Yep.
Medford is at Mosinee, and Menominee takes on at Hobbs Ice Arena.
Regis Altuno McDonald.
And the girls, Black River Falls Co-op is at Chippewa Falls, and Northland Pines Co-op takes on Wisconsin Valley Union at Stevens Point.
Yeah, Black River Falls is playing Chippewa Falls, McDonald, Menominee, whatever their name is.
There,
and the winner plays the River Falls Co-op on Tuesday. So,
okay. So girls only have one division for girls hockey.
Yep.
Boys have 2 divisions. All right, also coming up tonight, they start the Clarabelle Conference girls basketball crossover playoffs. The 3rd through 7th place games are tonight, and they're all in the Eastern Cloverbelt Conference sites. McDonald Central will be at Greenwood for 3rd. Greenwood had a nice season, 3rd place for them.
That should be one of the better games, I think. So that's right there. So
Bloomer is at Columbus Catholic for 4th. Cadott at Gilman for 5th. Stanley Boyd at Loyal for 6th, and Thorpe is at Spencer for 7th place.
I think Gilman has a pretty fair chance against Cadott. Loyal's been playing better. So, but the fun night is Saturday night, Larry. Let's no.
Yeah, it is the 1st and 2nd place playoff games starting at 6:00 at the Fieldhouse in Neillsville. The 2nd place game at 6 will have Regis against Owen Withee.
Yeah.
And then the rematch in the conference championship of a game earlier this season where Fall Creek beat Neillsville in the 1st place playoff game Saturday night. And that's only one of 2 losses that Neillsville has.
And I think Coach John Geyer doesn't mind this rematch at all.
No.
I think he wants to see how far his girls have grown since that and what they've taken from that. So.
And I know in years past he hasn't really put much stock. I mean, they into these playoff games because you still get another game after you're done.
Yeah,
it's the tournament that he's worried about.
But I like it. It's a game. It's like a non-conference game
and it's a
on
good
Saturday.
tune-up.
Yes, because they will not play till Friday again.
Right.
Because they have a bye the first round and play the winner of, I think it's Spencer and Necedah or something like that.
Yep.
So they will be off until Friday.
Yeah.
And so I think this game comes in pretty good timing too. So
yeah, in a good game. I mean, you got Fall Creek, who is still ranked in the state.
Very athletic and have a very good chance to come out of that sectional up there, I believe. So,
they mirror Neillsville.
Absolutely.
How they play.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. And they always have too.
Yeah, they always have.
So
looking forward to that. Both those games, by the way, will be on 92.7 WPKG on Saturday night. How about the boys basketball game the other night where Neillsville beat Colby 63-51, and Landon Rakestraw sets a new freshman record for points scored in a game.
He was just on.
For Neillsville.
Yeah, he was just on.
Yeah.
He just
33 points.
Yeah, but I said, last few weeks it's good to see Landon grow. He is still committing probably a little too many turnovers once in a while because he lets the game get ahead of him. But I think he's playing under control much better. His shot selection is very good, and last night it was just unbelievable, But I thought the whole team, ball movement was much better. Colby, you got to give Colby their due. They were down by 14 in the first half, came back to tie it in the second half. But much like the game at Colby, Larry, Colby only goes 7 deep, 7 deep, and I think that really bites him. Mm-hmm. And that's Neillsville came in with some fresh legs. Primarily Micah Zabel and Alex Stry really turned up the defense, turned over some turnovers. And
you get Cody Hart in there.
Yeah, and Cody Hart too. They were just all over the place. And it also didn't hurt Tucker Hayes was in foul trouble most of the first half too.
Yeah, you're right.
Because when he was in there in the second half, he was tough.
Yes, he was. He had some good, easy baskets inside.
He did. So, but pretty interesting. And then otherwise in the conference, but how about Loyal going up to Owen Withee?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that coming the way Loyal's been playing lately. But I took the time to go on YouTube and watch Joe Anderson's interview with Coach DeSmet up at Loyal, and just seems like he's first time he smiled in a while. He said, but and basically what it was, he started getting some production out of his backcourt again.
Yeah.
Reed Stiglitz was very big for them last night, getting some points down the stretch, and Bryce Deegan too. And to me, that's a key for Loyal. They have to get points from those two.
Yeah.
They have the bigs in the middle, but those guys are out there primarily for rebounding and defense. So,
right.
So
Loyal gets the 3-point win. Yeah. And that helps Columbus Catholic because now they are just a half game back of Owen Withee.
Columbus must have a makeup to make yet.
Yeah, they have a game with Gilman. They have 2 games with Gilman coming up.
So you got to like their chances.
Right.
And whereas Owen Withee has to go to Colby
on Friday night. Yeah.
And that is not going to be easy. Colby plays very well at home. Mm-hmm. And, if Hayes stays out of foul trouble, and I'll tell you what, Fleischman and those guys can hit the threes as well as anybody. So... But
it'll be interesting.
It's going to be Owen Withee's the one with the pressure on it, not Colby. So
right,
and it's probably going to be a senior night for him or whatever, So
Columbus Catholic has 2 games left with Gilman on their schedule. Yeah. The first one is on Friday night. Yeah. They host Gilman in that one. But Owen Withee 10-3, Columbus Catholic 9-3 in the conference. Loyal 9-4 now in the conference.
Yeah, so Loyal, and Loyal finishes with Greenwood on Friday night. So. They're hoping, Owen Withee falls to Colby, and then they got to tie for second,
Right.
So,
yeah.
And they're probably, with the 2 close games they had, there's a good chance Loyal might have the tiebreaker there. So and that's kind of a big deal. You go to the second first place crossover. So
and again, that would be in Stanley
Boyd
on March 1st.
Yep,
and that would be an afternoon.
Yes,
games
1 o'clock and 2:30, I believe. So.
Yes, it would.
So.
All right, so that's what's happening in boys and girls basketball and wrestling and hockey and just a big, busy time of the year right now.
Funnest time of the year.
Yes, a lot of stuff going on. Well, let's do Where Are They Now?
Okay.
Let's get it in here this week.
Okay, speaking of Fall Creek, I am going to Fall Creek,
All right.
and I'm going to talk about Todd Marks. And Todd was a 1996 graduate of Fall Creek High School. In the fall, Todd was a 3-year letter winner on the cricket football team. His sophomore year, Fall Creek was 13-0 on the season, winning the Western Clover Belt, qualifying for the WIA D5 playoffs, where they would make it to the championship game, where they would defeat Darlington 14-6 to win the title. On the season, Todd had 5 receptions for 68 yards. His junior year, the Crickets were 13-0, winning the Clover Belt and qualifying for the WIA D5 playoffs, where they again made it to the finals, and they again would defeat Darlington 10-7 to win the title. In that game, Todd had a pass interception. For the season, Todd had 17 pass receptions for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. On defense, he had 4 interceptions and 32 tackles and was first-team all-conference selection on defense. His senior year, the Crickets were 6-4 on the season, qualifying for the WIA D5 playoffs, where they lost in Level 1 to Somerset. Todd had 18 receptions for 220 yards and 3 touchdowns, and also had 5 interceptions and 36 tackles. He was a first-team all-conference selection on defense and also a member of the All-Northwest team. In the winter, Todd was a 3-year letter winner on the cricket basketball team. His sophomore year, the Crickets were 16-8 on the season. They were regional champs, losing to Elk Mound in the sectional semifinals. Todd averaged 8 points per game. His junior year, Fall Creek was 14-9 on the season, losing to Ladysmith in the regional finals. Todd averaged 13 points and 7 rebounds and was a second-team selection on the Western Clover Belt All-Conference team. His senior year, Fall Creek was 14-9, losing to Ladysmith in the regionals. Todd averaged 17 points and 9 rebounds and was a first-team selection on the Western Clover Belt All-Conference team and was also named to the All-Northwest team. In the spring, Todd was a 2-year letter winner on the Fall Creek baseball team. His junior year, Fall Creek was 12-7 on the season, losing to Bloomer in the regionals. Todd batted .252 with 8 RBIs. His senior year, the Crickets were 10-9 on the season, losing to Elk Mound in the regionals. Todd batted .265 with 10 RBIs on the season. After graduation, Todd enrolled at UW-Eau Claire and joined the Blue Golds men's basketball team. His freshman year, the Blue Golds were 18-7 on the season. Todd averaged 2 points per game. His sophomore year, Eau Claire was 17-8 on the season. Todd averaged 3 points and 2 rebounds per game. His junior year, the Blue Golds were 27-6, qualifying for the NCAA D3 playoffs, where they would win their regional to advance to the Final Four in Salem, Virginia, where they defeated Salem State of Massachusetts 70-42 in the semis, before losing to Calvin College of Michigan in the finals 79-74. Todd averaged 6 points and 5 rebounds on the season. His senior year, the Blue Golds were 19-10 on the season, qualifying for the NCAA 3 playoffs, where they lost in the regionals to the University of Chicago. Todd averaged 7.3 points per game and 5.9 rebounds on the season. Todd graduated from UW-Eau Claire in 2001 with a degree in English education. Todd started his teaching and basketball coaching career at Bloomer High School, where he would be the head coach for 10 years, compiling a record of 121 wins and 101 losses. Marks then moved to Eau Claire North, where he coached for 7 years until 2022, compiling a record of 108 and 59. In 2023, Todd was hired to teach English and coach boys basketball at Beloit Memorial High School, where he has a career record of 40 and 32, including 13-7 currently this season, making his career record of 269 wins and 192 losses. Todd and his family currently reside in Beloit. Todd Marks, Larry.
He was a good athlete.
Yes, he was.
Yep.
Yeah, about 6'3", 6'4".
I remember him, yeah. Especially basketball.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember really in football much.
Yeah, he was part of some pretty good football teams too.
That was Ron Schultz's years,
Yes, they
wasn't
were.
it? Yes.
I think towards the end of Ron's career too.
Yeah, Oh, yeah. Fall Creek. Good stuff. Where are they now? On the show here this morning. How about the Wisconsin Badger men's basketball team? They are on a roll.
Really took it. First Purdue last Saturday, and then Illinois Tuesday night.
And they're putting up points.
Wow.
They're getting in the 90s now. Yeah. But they are now 21-5 overall and 11-4 in the Big Ten.
And ranked 11th in the country, Larry, and they are the highest-ranked Big Ten team right now.
Wow. Okay. So, even though Michigan, I think, is on top in the conference, but I think their overall record is a little lower.
But that game on national TV really opened a lot of people's eyes Saturday.
I think so. And they're going to be on national TV again Saturday morning, starting at 11 a.m. on Fox against Oregon.
So it's looking pretty good.
John Tanji.
Yes. Yeah, he was Big Ten Player of the Week this week. So
and Naismith Player of the Week too.
Yes. So they're getting and McGee was thrown out of the game against Purdue, and his teammates really picked him up nicely. But Tanji he draws so many fouls, and I think he's like a 90% free throw shooter too. So it just
he can drive, he can shoot. Yeah, he's a good player.
They put another 95 up against Illinois on Tuesday night. So my goodness, I said. Dick Bennett's teams didn't average that for 3 games.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it used to be. They get in the half what they normally got in a full game.
Yep.
Years ago.
Yep. So.
All right. How about Joe Buck? He's going to call his first Major League Baseball game.
And a Brewer game to boot. And what's really cool, Joe Girardi is going to be announced, and so is Bill Schroeder.
Yeah, for that game on ESPN.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Bill Schroeder, I know in the past has done a little work with Fox, but the last couple of years because of health problems, he hasn't even traveled with the team. So
you're right. Yeah. But Joe Buck on ESPN, March 27th, Brewers and the Yankees to open up the season.
Yeah, Joe hasn't done any baseball since
4 years.
Yeah, when he was with Fox. So.
2:00 in the afternoon for that game.
Yep.
So that'd be interesting. The Brewers, by the way, have their first Cactus League spring training game. It's a split squad game agaget the Reds on Saturday.
Yeah.
So let it begin.
They don't see enough of the Reds during the season. You got to play.
I know. Yeah. Oh, well.
You get, you about had your fill of L.A. David Cruz by the end of the season,
USA and Canada play tonight in the Four Nations Face-Off Hockey Tournament Championship.
Yeah,
and they had a dandy the other night.
And I expect the fist to be coming out right from the beginning, probably as they come out of the locker room, But
they don't get along, I guess.
No, they don't like each other.
Wow.
It's funny, but Canada has always been known as kind of the hockey capital of the world, and the last few, the U.S. has done very well in the Olympics and things like that, and I think the Canadians take it personally sometimes. So
that somebody's taking their turf,
wearing their crown,
Right?
So.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens tonight. USA and Canada.
It should be fun.
It's kind of interesting how they did that with that Four Nations face-off.
I tell you what, that is a sweet way to do it. That really something different on the All-Star game rather than what.
Because, the 4 countries they had are basically your all-stars.
Absolutely. I said, the NFL has been trying to find something for years, and to me, they still haven't found it.
No.
I said
the flag football.
Yeah, I said it's just silly.
And the NBA, that thing they did.
Yeah.
Well, the NBA All-Star game,
they've
really
tried
watched.
so many different things that so I don't know. So, speaking of college, Notre Dame in women's basketball ranked first, number 1 first time since 2019 right now. So, and then. UConn the other night defeated number 4 South Carolina. UConn number 7 ended South Carolina's 71-game home winning streak.
Wow.
So
71 games at home.
That's tremendous. So.
We're going to look back on Neilsville girls.
Yeah.
I know they've won 85 in a row in the conference.
Yeah, and also freshman Akela Blakes of Vanderbilt set and it's speaking of freshman records. She set an NCAA freshman record the other night with 55 points versus Auburn. So.
Wow, 54. 33, you got a little ways to go.
Yeah. Suck it up, Landon.
One other note here, as we got about a minute left, for the second straight year, the NFL is headed to Brazil.
Yep.
And they announced on Wednesday that the LA Chargers will serve as the home team.
Yep.
They don't know who the opponent's going to be, but again, they're going to do it
on Friday night,
the first week of the year, September 5th.
Yeah. One other thing, all-star coaches for football came out. Jason Tubbs of Stratford named Reed Lehman from Neilsville as one of his assistants, and then 8-man for the North, Robin Rosemeyer from Gilman is the head coach. So
some good local
you betcha.
flavor in that.
Jason Tubbs, of course, stepped down, so coaching one more time.
And his son will be the quarterback.
Yes,
one
he
of
will.
the quarterbacks.
Yep, Jack Tubbs.
Jack Tubbs.
After he gets on wrestling sectionals.
Well, congratulations, Reed Lehman of Neilsville.
Yeah,
Granted,
that is great.
being an assistant coach.
You bet. So
on that North squad.
Yep.
That's coming up in July.
Yep.
All right, that'll wrap it up for this week on Two Guys on Sports. I'm Larry Hazer.
I'm Dick Olson.
Have yourself a good one. We'll talk to you again next week.